Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is Star Saturday, and so it's Star Wars Saturdays, an ongoing anthology campaign that I've run for the Open Hearth community, where each month I take a different indie or small press tabletop role-playing game, reskin, spin it up, hack it, however I need to, so that folks from the Open Hearth community can gather together with me, create characters, revisit characters they've played in other systems, or pick up NPCs from other games that they want to embody for a bit and create these characters in this different game system. And then we tell a story together. This month, December of 2023, we are playing Infinite Galaxies. This is a Power by the Apocalypse game, heavily inspired by the likes of Dungeon World, one of the earliest Power by the Apocalypse games. It is made for sci-fi, so it has been a very, very easy hack to say, and now you're in Star Wars. That's pretty much all I did. There's a playbook called the Sci-PSI that I renamed to Jedi, and I renamed the robot playbook into Droid, and that's about it. In fact, I just want to point this thing out because Stephen mentioned it. The metabolic tonic is a thing that exists in this game. Sounds cool, and that was Stephen's justification for his clone being able to remain functioning. And I thought that was an awesome idea. Great marriage of ideas from a completely different, because Infinite Galaxies has its own built-in settings, and Star Wars. The timeline for this game is after the original trilogy, not quite up to The Mandalorian. I've borrowed from the Legends timeline, so Warlord Zinj is still in control of a large Imperial remnant. However, most of the galaxy is in the process of being freed by the New Republic. Princess Leia is doing her best to cajole the Senate into breaking down the last vestiges of the Empire. And as those of us who've watched Ahsoka, it's working mostly, but not 100%. So, I guess maybe it's gonna fail again in another 30 years. We don't know. Unless we've seen the sequels, and then we do know. So, all that out of the way, as we finish, this is the finale of our Infinite Galaxies mini-series before the holidays hit us full force. Let's go through and remind ourselves of our characters. So I'm going to start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left, which means, Stephen, you are first up. If you could introduce yourself and remind us about your character.
Hi, my name is Stephen. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing CT-8054, also known as Phoenix. Phoenix is a clone trooper. He was a field medic, and during the Clone Wars, and he is the clone troopers, of course, age at an accelerated rate. But being a medic, he started taking a Bacta extract that he was using to help with some of the aches and pains with some of his patients. He started taking this more often in order to help with the aches and pains as he's aged. And I've got a nice old pic of a clone trooper here. And one of the upgrades I just took was a military exoskeleton. So now his suit actually helps him move and all of that to make up for, uh, what's happened to him as he's aged. He feels a great deal of guilt about Order 66. I think this um, immune system enhancement has helped fry the clone trooper chip that's in his head. Um, and his body's basically rejected it over the years, but he participated. He helped heal people who were killing Jedi and stuff. And so he feels a great deal of regret about that.
Oh, so sad. I'm very depressed. Nash, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character. Restore some hope here.
Well, I can try. My name is Anders, he, him. I'm playing Lorne Volnau, also he, him. He is the Jedi playbook, the Sci in the original version of the game. He's pretty old, about a century old. He was out in the outer rim when Order 66 was executed, and the rise of the Empire and the fall of the Empire. He's been kind of out of the loop for a lot of what's happened, but he has come back. There's no Jedi Order anymore, so he's trying to find old Jedi temple sites and the like to try to rebuild something. Um, yeah, I think I'll stop there.
Hey, it's good that you're looking for old sites to rebuild something. Fortunately, I'm not sure it's entirely Jedi, but hey, it's just labels, right? It's gonna be fine. You're exactly where you need to be. Last but certainly not least, is uh is Keith.
Hello, Keith. I use the he, him pronouns. I am playing Todd Badu, a female Rhodian Jack playbook, which is, it's. I guess if you were doing the dungeon world thing, maybe rogue. Like it encompasses a lot of people who kind of do things orthogonally to laws. Perhaps we should say it that way. But laws are just sentient constructs anyway, and hard to get people to agree to them. And Dodd probably wouldn't agree to a lot of them. She's a people person, likes to bring folks together, likes to do interesting things, is all about sucking the marrow from the rancor bones of the galaxy, and having a good time, and having, most importantly, an interesting time. And that's what brought her to be the companion of these two unlikely friends, and to end up on the doorstep of some kind of temple and hoping to extract some secrets, because gosh, they're one of the most delicious flavors that you could have in the whole wide galaxy.
One of the things that we did at the end of the last session is I said, hey, let's say a milestone has been crossed or reached, and you each got to choose an advance. Keith, what did you choose for Dodd?
I picked Assassin. When you have the drop on someone and deal damage to them, roll 2 dice and take the better result.
Ooh, delightful. Anish, what did you choose as an advance for Lorne?
It's called biometabolize. It means that when I use a Jedi move and I'm supposed to spend reserve, I can instead take 1d6 psychic damage.
Nice,
And I'm not
saving that
sure.
reserve.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would interact with the thing where I get a complete success. I retain one of the reserve I spent. But I guess we'll figure that out in play.
I'm willing to just make a ruling that if you biometabolize and spend the psychic damage, instead of spending the reserve, roll well where you would have retained it. Maybe you earn a bit of reserve, so you still are paying the cost, but you still get the benefit that you would have gotten normally.
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. And then you mentioned your military exoskeleton. That was the advance that you took, correct, Stephen?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It provides 1 armor. It's 1 weight. It has a mount, so I can use that counts as a hand, so I can use weapons with the 2-handed tag, so I could effectively have 3 hands.
That's cool. And canon per Mandalorian. We can do
Yeah.
that. Everything that happens on one of the shows or movies, immediately let's just like mechanize it and stick it in our RPGs because it's great. In last session, the 3 of you, along with Vortex, your fellow clone, or not all of you, but Phoenix's fellow clone, traveled to an Imperial facility known as the Tigris, and snuck your way down to engineering. You left Uncle behind. He was in the cafeteria, as it were, the mess hall, and that seems to be okay. the last you spoke with him, you got onto an industrial elevator, a mining elevator, ancient, rickety, made of older metals, a little bit of rust on it, harsh, blaring, loud night lights that flicker as you went deeper underground. And if I recall correctly, you had reached a door, a pair of doors leading into the citadel, the temple, the labyrinth, as it were. This temple appears to be, the architecture is icy, but a black ice. Lorne, you cannot help but have a bit of a bad feeling about this place. There are glyphs been carved into the icy landscape around this door. So I think it's like a round door, but the double door as well. The surface kind of walks up to it, and you don't see any defenses that are in place to prevent someone from trying to open the door. You definitely have the foreboding feeling that there is a dark power inside of this place. Oh, yes, Rich, in his recap, forgot to mention that there was someone watching the two of you. And she said, I will take care of this. And she is coming your way. Yes, I've forgotten to mention that. So, Lauren, it feels appropriate to me, unless you want to pass it off to Dodd or Phoenix, that you would have the first action as you look upon Ifus 4's dark secrets.
We must be on our guard. This is not a good place to stay for long. And
Sorry, out of game question. Did we think this was going to be a Jedi temple, or did we just hear it's some kind of force-related temple? Like, how much of a surprise is this bad feeling?
I'll let Andesh answer that one.
I think we just knew, from what I remember, all we were certain of was that the Empire was like the Imperials are excavating here. I don't think we knew what kind of place it would be. Like, at least Lauren was hoping it would be a Jedi location. Seems not to be that way, but it seems it could be Force related in some way, and that means it's still interesting. But yeah.
I think Dodd kind of internalized Lauren's hopes and just made it in her own head, like, oh, it's a Jedi temple. So this is all a bit like, okay.
For all Dodd knows, it is a Jedi temple, but boy, this Jedi got some dark architecture and stuff.
It feels off from the few Jedi I've known. It doesn't seem to vibe with their whole aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Lauren will. I think actually before the other things, Lauren says he kind of pauses as we see this. The Jedi did not build this, but there is power here. We must be cautious. Something like that.
I think as I was reaching out to run my hand over the glyphs, and as you say that, I kind of pause, back up a few steps, yield the floor to you.
I think Vortex says, whatever's in here they want, we need to make sure they don't get it.
I agree. And I think I will look for, like, I will advance towards the door cautiously
Mm-hmm.
and look, see if there is some obvious way to open it, or if it seems trickier than that.
What? Oh man, let's engage a move. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let us have you
Some kind of
analyze. Yeah,
analyze. Yeah,
analyze.
sure. That's wisdom. I'm just rolling the dice. The dice give me 10, and I have like a +2 in wisdom. So let's say that's
Delightful.
okay.
That is great on analyze on a complete success, which is a 10 plus. Ask the GM 3 questions from the list below.
Yeah. Well, what should I be careful to avoid? Seems like the most
You
important thing.
move closer, observing the door, and you cannot help but notice the telltale smell of the recent dead. I think the best thing is to voice this whole thing.
Well, is there anything like more specific than that?
Yeah, there this place has recently been they have recently attempted to infiltrate it. It is obvious there are signs that
With bad
some
results.
some folks have entered, and it appears that they're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will move on to what here is not what it appears to be, because that seems important as well.
It does. It does. Do you believe that Lorne would recognize Sith sigils?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I think he's aware that they exist, but he wouldn't have been taught them. He
Mm-hmm.
may have encountered something. He may have encountered them when on his travels without knowing what they were. So
Okay.
yeah, that sort of thing.
Then you recognize that there obviously is a message written in these sigils on how to gain entrance, but you also see that there is faint traces of blood on the handle that has dried. You can discern that there are either ways to command this to open, because the attitude of the Sith, or you may sacrifice blood and gain entry.
Cool. Then I think what here is useful or valuable to
Oh. If you are being observed, then the Empire will likely not try to stop you from delving deeper. What is useful or valuable to you is you should most definitely remember the symbols and also find a different way out. Because while Indiana Jones doesn't exist in this technically this universe, although some will argue that on the Ark there were some Star Wars symbols. You've probably, by the way, there is totally some like Star Wars shit on the Ark of the Covenant. It's awesome. George Lucas, great. But you've heard stories of, oh, well, they'll just wait for me to do all the work and then screw me when I come out.
yeah.
Is that fair? Does that seem like
Yeah.
a fair answer? Okay.
Yeah. The Imperials have gained entry, but not much more. I suspect they will try to follow us if we do better than they have. And think I will try to figure out, like, if they want, like, commanding the door to open. I think I will try to use my force powers to force the door open.
Amazing. This is so good. This is so good. So, first, Phoenix, tell me about a time when, I don't know, do you use the term Jedi Master? General?
General.
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 Yeah. Tell me about a time when a general back during before the Clone Wars, I guess, well, technically they're called the Clone Wars. It's fine. During the Clone Wars, when a general used their ability with the Force to either open a door or hold back something.
I think this was on Geonosis. And this was like this. I think there were several different waves of attacks there, and this was one of the later attacks. And we were going down into the caverns, and I knew there were a lot of bugs down there, and it was it's a concern. And one of the generals ignited their lightsaber, so it was like this bluish light that was flickering around, and we hit an area, and they waved their hand and said, "There's something bad this way," and then started going down there, and it was really spooky. And then they used, you know, I'm telling you, it was like it's a ghost story. They raised their hand, and chill bumps erupted on your arms, and then suddenly, you know, something moved, and then all the next thing I knew, there were all these bugs that were coming out. It was just scary as crap. So
That's awesome. Sweet. Sweet. So let us see you utilize your power. You have this reserve thing. What are you doing? Move object? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Do it.
So
Do it.
I'm paying, spend my reserve, or does this count as a large object?
Uh-huh.
Then think, just for flavor, I'm going to use my the biometabolize. I'd like to pay one reserve and take 1d6 of damage because that feels right for this.
Oh, fun. Yeah, that's cool.
So I'll roll the d6 for damage first. It's a 1, so not a lot of
Nice. Just like a
psychic
little
defense.
trickle of sweat, maybe like
Yeah.
like a little bit of blood from your gigantic lured nostril. Oh yeah, it'd be like from here.
Yeah. And then I will roll 2d6. No. Ooh, that's just barely a 7 with my +2 wisdom.
Woohoo! Barely 7 is a success. An attack. Yeah, so any success, you move the object. That's awesome. So I think we hear the grating of stone, right? Oh, that's so cool. You part it open. That's amazing. I adore it.
I think during this process, I've seen kind of what's going on, and I tell Vortex, you take point, I'll take rear. So we're kind of sandwiching the group, um, because I see some weird craps going on. So
Sweet. So Lorne stands there. You guys are getting into position. Dodd, you're the first to notice the smell. It emanates from this place. The cold here is less noticeable. Like it seems to be not as freezing cold as your surroundings. But you can smell the recent dead. There are definitely moments, Phoenix, with that smell, coupled with your memory of the time on Geonosis. I don't know if folks saw in the chat the Geonosius thing, but that was an amazing episode of Star Wars. Oh, amazing. So Lorne and Phoenix, you're taking point. So I'm imagining like there are probably a couple of lights or something from your exoskeleton, like shine into the darkness. Long shadows of Lorne are cast into this area, and you see unmoving bodies of stormtroopers in armor laying here, a dozen, easily a squad. There was one right at the door. He falls after the door opens completely, he falls forward as if he were laying against the door, dead. What do you do?
I'm making sure I'm firmly in the middle of the group.
It's smart. Smart call.
Yeah, but not showily. Like I think it kind of morphs from intense curiosity to like looking around. Is anybody else freaked out by this? And I think everyone else has it more together based on their backgrounds. It's kind of like, I'm happy to be reactive at this point.
I think Vortex would recognize this and say, if you want to be rear guard.
No. It's fine to have someone behind me too.
Okay. Affirmative. So, we now engage with the labyrinth move, which I have modified for Infinite Galaxies because it is a very modifiable move. If you take a look in the basic and special moves to the right hand side, I'll quickly reveal it. It's already there. When you attempt to navigate the labyrinth, describe how you do it and then roll plus the appropriate stat. On a 12 plus, you will hold 2. We will keep our hold here because it is a team-based thing. You can go separately, but I'm assuming you will pool your hold. On a 10 plus, you'll hold 1. On a 7 to 9, hold 1, but you encounter a guardian. And on a miss, you encounter a guardian. On a 1 to 3, you also lose all hold. If multiple party members navigate in turn, the hold is pooled together for the entire party. To find one of the labyrinth's treasures, spend 1 hold and describe the room that it is found in. You may spend 3 hold at any time to find the entrance to the heart of the labyrinth. One of my favorite PBTA moves. It's delightful. I didn't believe in it until I played it and saw how much fun it can be. So that is what lies before you. Ooh. First steps in to engage with.
I'll take point. I think Phoenix is going to look for traps. And he moves up from the rear, shines the lights in, and starts, feeling around, looking, he actually examines the bodies. He examines the bodies to see what killed them, to see if it was blades or gas or, what was going on here. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is awesome. I have answers.
Okay. And I think that's probably understand. Is that right?
I think that makes sense, and I like that move. When you encounter new people, place, or technology, and seek to understand, roll plus int.
So let me roll plus int. That's an 11.
Wow. On any success, the GM must tell you something interesting about it. And on a complete success, 10 plus, this information must also be useful to your current situation. You notice in particular that these stormtroopers were killed by blaster shots from an E11 medium blaster rifle, which is a standard issue, inferior to what clones use, standard issue for stormtroopers. This squad, they killed each other.
So I tell the others, I was like, okay, oh, even better. I pull out of my pack, I pull out some little flashing red things, right? Little flashers. And I put them on each person and activate them. Like, don't shoot for the red dot no matter what you see. Because these guys shot each other. So, no red dot, it's okay. But you hit the red dot, you're killing one of us. And I'm looking at Dodd the whole time, like,
Sorry.
I don't think she notices. She just nods at her agreement. Kind of taps the device and then realizes you don't want to cover it up, so the hand goes down.
So, after the investigation, the information that you have gathered and gleaned, you see that deeper in, intricately carved with symbols, is a threshold, a gateway. The gateway stands open, so this was some kind of antechamber. Who moves deeper into the labyrinth, and how do you wish to navigate it?
I figure I'm already in the room, so I think that, I've been inspecting the bodies to see what's going on. I actually think I collect all their weapons and toss them out so that they can't be used on us from behind.
Yeah.
I take all the power packs. That's what it is. I take their power packs and stuff them in. But I'm the one who steps into the next room, who wants to check things out before Dodd and Lorne go in.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
How do you wish to choose a stat that makes sense for you to negotiate the labyrinth, and go ahead and roll the labyrinth move?
Yeah. Again, I think I'm using my intelligence primarily to see if I can find. I'm looking for traps to make sure the others don't run into them. Yeah.
Sure. Now, because you're 10 plus, it doesn't say mechanically from the uh sorry, from understand. It says a complete success must also be useful, but it doesn't say that mechanically you get a +1 forward, which I think it should. What do you think about that? I want to just willy-nilly hack the rules on the fly, but I
Yeah.
want to check in. What do you think about that?
I personally don't mind, since this is kind of a Dungeon World hack. I would fall back to Dungeon World or just take it the way it's written.
Keith, what do you think?
I mean, I just noticed the roll that he did, so I would not be unbiased with saying +1 forward is a great plan.
Let's do it. Take a +1 forward on this roll. Oh, I didn't look at the roll. Yeah. Oh, look at you. Oh, it will give you a 10. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. On a 10 plus, I didn't look at the roll, so I was not trying to gig you to a 10. I just was thinking about that and how in Dungeon World that would give you a +1.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Which gives you a 10. You get to hold 1. So you enter a narrow corridor lined with icy walls that seem to carry echoes of the past. Your whispers of rituals and forgotten incantations filling the air. It's very unsettling. The corridor, though, leads deeper into the labyrinth. Its twists and turns designed to confuse and disorient those who venture. But you do negotiate through this particular room and do not encounter any guardians. And I will add 1 to your hold. Boom!
I think part of the
Congratulations.
way that looks on camera is we see Phoenix kind of kneel down and he's looking around and he steps into this next part of the, where the corridor is, and we see him lean down and there's this it looks like a laser pointer that's on the edge, and he reaches over and he sees where it's connected up to some explosives so that the stormtroopers that were here were like, okay, if anything comes this way, we're going to blow this. So he reaches over and, takes off the disarming portion and sets it
Mm-hmm.
down and then says, careful.
That's awesome. Lauren, as you reach what feels like the end of this corridor of whispers, you see that there are a few different paths you can take to move deeper. How do you want to negotiate the labyrinth to continue your progress?
Tempted to do the Gandalf thing and use smell, but I think um, think I think Lauren has walked like through this whole corridor just with his eyes closed and just sensing his way rather than looking.
Awesome.
And I think that's what he trusts to guide him in the right direction. I think
Mm.
I'm leaning on them. I don't know if I have the +1 forward from the analyze move here.
I think this
Okay.
is the only place it could apply, so that seems appropriate to me.
Cool. I'll use it then. And that gets me to a massive 5. +3, 5. Yeah.
Um, that's amazing. I'm here for it. On a miss, you encounter a guardian. You follow the smells and trust your senses. You hear the soft sound of eating, like the lips of some large creature smacking and the rip and tear of a muscle or a tendon. And when you come into um, a room where you can see that there are statues carved from the black ice. Among them is also a six-legged creature casually eating the carcass of a stormtrooper who fell, perhaps the one who got the farthest inside. It looks up with its coal black eyes and growls. What do you do?
Oof. Um, I mean, this could be a case of just where it's best to just try to kill it right away, but maybe we don't have to. Now, I think Lauren is a little spooked that he feels like he was trying to let the force guide him, and it seems to have led him into on a bad path. So
Mm-hmm.
that got him a little spooked. I think I just draw my think I draw my lightsaber and ignite it, but I don't like go on the attack right away. I think I'm trying to like scare this thing off.
And remind us, what color is your lightsaber?
Ooh, I haven't used it. Or did I use it?
Amazing.
I think it's like a bright orange, like between like orange and yellow.
Very cool. Bright orange and yellow. I think that the creature stares at it for a moment. The eyes narrow. See the blood dripping from its maw. The thing's teeth seem to be part of the overall mouth structure, as if it comes down into these jagged protrusions. And it starts to stalk forward on all 6 of its legs. As it's on all 4s, it comes up about to your chest height. Its head is this big, so it could easily swallow a limb whole. Um, I'm curious, Dodd, you've been keeping it together, KIT, keep it together. How are you doing as you see this?
Reminds me that I think we had a move called that in one of the games, didn't we? Um,
We did.
there is, I mean, there is horror, obviously, but also she's been in bad situations and has taken stock of this chamber and realizes these statues are her friend and is off jumping behind statue to statue and trying to make the creature lose track of where she is so she'll be able to get a better shot when the time finally comes.
That sounds like you're defying danger by trying to sneak around without becoming more interesting to it.
There may be a bit of danger to be defied. Yeah, I can see that. I didn't look at the options, but I'm guessing dexterity
That seems fair.
makes sense for sneakies. And 11, howdy.
Oh my. With 11, you do it successfully. The thing seems wholly focused on Lorne and ignores you completely. You have an excellent hiding spot, whereupon you could lash out at any point that you wish and use that cool new move you took. Vortex is watching your play here, Phoenix. The Jedi seems to be doing Jedi stuff, so he hasn't immediately tried to shoot at this thing, but he's itchy. What are you doing?
I see Dodd kind of slip off, and I am like, okay, he's gonna flank it. I'm gonna head in the other direction. And I'm gonna head away from where Dodd went, and I'm gonna try and get a beat on it so that if it makes a move towards Lorne, I'm going to shoot it.
It makes a move towards Lauren.
Yeah, great. So let's do that. So let me shoot. That is a 7.
Amazing. So you took a shot, which is shoot.
Yeah.
You attacked with a ranged weapon. On any success, deal your damage to the opponent. But this is also partial success, so you must also select. You have to fire several shots, marking 1 ammo or recharge. Move to get the shot, putting yourself in danger or attracting unwanted attention. Take what you can get, but you have to subtract 1d6 damage, 1d6 from your damage.
So I'm gonna intentionally, the way I described it was to make sure that it comes from me rather than Lauren, to distract the other from the other two. So I think move to get the shot, put myself in danger, or attract unwanted attention is the best option there. for me. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Let me roll my damage. That is 10.
That is 10. That is a whole lot. Holy crap, that's amazing. It does have some natural armor. You see the blaster shot is somewhat blunted, but you hit it in the side as it was moving for Lorne, and one of its legs falls limp at its side, but the other five continue churning forward towards Lorne. It is that you hurt it a lot. Lorne, it does not seem to want to negotiate, and now it's been shot. So how are you handling this?
Yeah, it's is it like rushing towards me, or is it like creeping forward?
Oh no, it would started stalking forward and then
Yeah,
Phoenix shot it, and now it is like, I'm gonna take down this thing before I die.
yeah. Then I like move to the side and try to strike it with my lightsaber as I step aside, going for the head.
Delightful. That is a fight move for you. So please.
Yeah, and I believe I get to roll that with wisdom because of something. Yeah, because I have the kyber crystal in my weapon.
Awesome. Yes, that's right.
Everything with wisdom, and that gets me to a massive 7.
A massive 7 is a success. So that's great. When you get a partial success, you deal your damage, but expose yourself to their attack as well. I think that what happens is you slice at it, but it like moves its head underneath, and maybe you catch it. We'll see what damage you do, but it's gonna bite your. You have legs, right?
I do have legs. And I have my damage is a D8. Uh, it's a 3.
Oh, that's not incredible.
No, it is not.
Um, please roll a d10.
That sounds a lot.
Uh-huh.
That's a 7.
It
There's
clamps
a good roll.
hard into your leg. Um, and you slice, like, I think you slice most of into its head and neck, but it doesn't let go, and it's laying there, and blood is pouring out of the blaster wound. You cauterized the shot. Dodd, as you're watching this fight, Lauren seems maybe it's dead. It's still kind of moving, but it doesn't seem to be in great shape at all. Um, but you also have to happen to have the vantage point of seeing that one of the statues moves, and Phoenix hasn't seen it. And I'm just curious, you want to do anything about that? It's okay if you don't. You can just like hang tight. You're good. It will not attack you yet.
So we've got this 6-legged monstrosity, and there's a moving statue.
That is a correct statement.
Okay. I've seen the statue move, but I'm also, I believe, under the impression that Lorne is close to death from the beast gnawing on his legs. Okay.
Is Lauren close to death after the armor? That's pretty rough, but not close to death.
Okay. So not, but still in peril.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get your GM hint that there's another problem, but I got to deal with this thing that's mauling one of my friends, right?
Of course, you have to do lots of stuff. That's
It
just
got
one of them.
position, to bite him, and so now it's showing me the weakness in its carapace. So I have an excellent shot at its soft, tender underbelly, and I'm going to take that. And we'll deal with moving statues when the time comes.
For sure.
So, time for some shooty hijinks.
Oh man.
Let's see, that is with Dex again, so that's +1. and it's a 12.
Wow. Roll your damage with advantage, which is your sneaky extra damage
Yeah,
move you got.
it's my assassination. I don't know my damage though.
Oh, it's up at the top. You roll a d8 for damage.
That's not terrible.
No, it is not. In fact, the only person who has a higher damage is Phoenix.
And I will take that 7.
Oh my. Describe to us, what does it look like when you kill this six-legged maw creature? It looks like it may be an oh shoot, what is the thing called? The thing from the prequels that was like the saber cat with the huge mouth of teeth. This
Nexu.
may have, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Nexu. This may be a like predecessor of the Nexu.
So I think I'm going to take the rolling 2 dice for advantage to be that like I actually do end up taking 2 shots. Um, the first one glances harmlessly off of its carapace, but it draws its attention enough that it kind of half turns, and in that half turn, I have a shot underneath at its meaty folds, and it just pierces straight through and collapses. And I think uh, doesn't quite pin Lorne, but like its weight is you know what? It's almost spooning Lorne, I think. So
Aw,
think that way.
aw, that's cool.
In its death as it releases a foul vapor into the air that is somehow still discernible over the general noxious odors of this labyrinth.
Awesome. Phoenix, please roll a d8. A
1.
1. Awesome. You you hear it at the last moment, obviously, because it's only 1 point of damage, but a black ice carving one of the statues moves slowly to try to hack you down with a, a carved version of a lightsaber. It is, of course, colorless and obsidian. And you definitely move out of the way. I think you even have armor. I don't even think you get hurt by it. Uh, but that's good. So,
Let's say it actually knocks me to the ground whenever it hits me. So
yeah.
I crash into the ground, but don't take any damage. Yeah.
Sweet. Vortex sees this and fires on the thing. The blaster bolts hit and chip away at the heavy ice, but it continues to move forward. Double-handed attack. Um, Lord, I think you recognize a bit of its style that it is aping, or perhaps was programmed or given to it. Um, so yeah, that's a thing after you just got a big bite out of your leg and Dabadoo saved your life. Maybe that's what she's going to tell you later. But I mean, just guessing. I could be wrong. But yeah, Phoenix is being attacked by one of the Guardians. What do you wish to do? Statues.
Ooh. Well, I have a move I haven't used, so I'm going to choose that. Or actually, kind of this thing. I don't feel like to waste my reserve, which feels bad, but I think I'm just going to like move forward and like disentangle myself from this creature and move forward to block this ice lightsaber with my own real lightsaber.
Nice. I like it. That sounds like you're trying to defend. So let
Yeah,
us.
which is con, and my con is 0.
Okay.
I roll a 9, so that's fine apparently.
Yeah, on a partial
Okay.
success, gain 1 reserve. You can spend your reserve to deal half of your damage die to the attacker. You can grant a +1 forward against the attacker to an ally. You can have the effect or damage of an attack, a redirect of an attack to you.
How the effect or damage of an attack? I think that's
Cool.
most
And
fitting with what I
it
was
won't be the 1.1 because that seems kind of cheap.
yeah,
It will be the next thing that happens.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're now
That's what I assumed. Yeah.
sweet. Someone's looked up laser.
I needed to know about the laser colors.
I see. Laser colors, yeah.
I've learned a lot.
Tabana gas from Bespin. Sweet. So Phoenix and Vortex are dealing with this statue. Lorne is trying to defend Phoenix. Dodd, what do you want to do?
I mean, the statue's pretty slow moving, right? It's a big lumbering thing.
Seems to be, yeah.
And how many statues were in this room?
Oh, there were 6.
Okay. So I think I'm going to try to convince folks that discretion is the better part of valor. We don't need to fight this slow moving thing. Our walking speed is faster than it.
Run away!
Like, there's 5 more of these things, folks. Let's navigate the labyrinth. That's a move we want to roll.
Okay. So you're going to try to save them by leading everyone away, possibly going off by yourself. This is amazing. I'm here for it. How do you wish to go negotiate the labyrinth?
Well,
Navigate.
I think because I am trying to persuade them, fall in line behind me, that I might have an argument for charisma.
I like that argument, and I want to see how it goes. Are you the leader you think you are?
Depends what kind of leader I think I am. All right, fall in line behind me, folks. It's a 12. What a day to be Dad Badu.
Dodd Badu was made for this stuff. That is an awesome thing. Let's see. On a 12, you hold 2. You now have 3 hold. That's amazing. So, you reach a type of crystalline nexus room. There are these crystalline formations that are a lattice work throughout this room. You have to kind of wind your way. It's like walking through a waterfall, frozen. The air shimmers with malevolent energy, and the ground is covered by an icy layer infused with power. You feel strength. I don't know. Do you call it the force? You feel power emanating here. It tingles. It hums like you're at a heavy bass concert under your feet, Dodd. But you navigate through here and you feel it's like it's within your grasp. You could find whatever is at the heart of the labyrinth if you chose to do so.
Did other people follow?
I don't know. We should probably check in with them. Vortex is like, but the Jedi is here. So he does not choose. But what does Phoenix choose?
I grab Lorne and kind of, help him up and start, heading him in the direction that Dodd went. And then, make the, military symbol, move on to Vortex. I'd like to try to heal Lorne. He took some damage, right?
He did.
And I have a move, Combat Medic. When you care for an ally's injury in the heat of battle, roll plus whiz.
Hmm.
My wisdom is a 1. Is that cool? Yeah.
Dare you heal another player character?
Well, it has to be in the heat of battle. So
This is heatful. Like the
Yeah.
Guardian is coming up. You're trying to lay a patch on him. I think this is
That's
perfect.
a 12.
Wow.
So they regain 1d8 vitality or 1 wound. And I add my wisdom, so you get a +1. So Anders, will you roll the 1d8?
Sure. 1d8 is 1 plus 1, so I regain
Yep.
2.
Yep. And hold on.
Should mean I get a good roll next turn.
It should.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna expend a use
It's
of my medic's gear.
yeah. I
Right?
am even with just the 2, I'm at 12 vitality, so it's not like super. Uh, it's not a
Right,
crisis.
but I mean, I'm not gonna. I see that you're, I try to stitch you up a little bit, but I see that you're still limping a little bit, just a little bit, and I slap a patch on you. No, I give you a stem. I give you like a stem, and that gives you +4 more.
Oh, nice. Then I am fully healed.
Yes, that's the
It's
intention. Is like I'm not gonna have any of my troops go in, down any.
sweet. And I think as you're giving the stem, Vortex is turned and he's firing back at the Guardian. It comes to the edge of that room where the other statues were, and then stops and seems to wait.
A
Just wait.
real good news, bad news kind of thing, it feels like there.
Yeah.
So the other folks are coming in,
They are.
and I think Dodd is just kind of like arms limp at her sides, staring in wonder at this room, and saying something like, "It's here, it's close." But not making an action to getting to what might be close.
Vortex is looking at Lauren because obviously this is his kind of thing, and it's nice that you think you know where you're going, but Vortex doesn't really respect that. Sorry, he doesn't say as much, but you get the vibe that he's like, and what does Lauren say?
Not tuned into him at this point anyway, so
It's fine.
it's
It's
a
fine.
moot point. But mechanically, yes, we do have enough hold that we could find the heart of the labyrinth if we want. I don't know what a labyrinth treasure would be, but we could also spend to find one of those here,
You could certainly.
if we prefer that. Like,
Well, I'm looking at the clock, and we're halfway through the session, so I think finding the heart, just from a purely meta perspective, seems like the way to go.
Interesting.
I'm
So
taking Steven's "do it" in the chat to also mean
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Do it. Do it.
yeah. So
I
there
like.
was this. Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say I like the tension of like spending 1 point, so we're 1 point shy. I like that tension that the move brings out. So yeah.
Yeah, that is fun, but I like purely meta. I want to have some like time to find the heart, and then have this whoever was going to fix everything show up and have a satisfying thing there. So yeah, there was this lattice work here, right?
Yes. Imagine it's not unlike if there were a crystalline structure like a spider web, perhaps.
Yeah. So I think what Lauren does is reach out with a force, and I think this lattice work reacts to that. And he kind of, if it's like a spider web, that you have like a center point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that shift, like he reaches out, and the center point moves to point towards where we're supposed to go.
That sounds amazing. So you guys you're spending the 3 hold
Yeah.
to find the heart of the lab, just making sure mechanically that I understood. Awesome. And I think that we're literally at the halfway point. So this is where we will take our mid-game bio break. We returned at the last moment before we took break. The decision was made to find the heart of the labyrinth. Lorne revealed by manipulating this nexus chamber, he revealed to you a place, the heart of the labyrinth. There is a secluded chamber as the four of you enter this area. You see that the walls are adorned with carvings and murals depicting the triumphs of the Sith, an ancient order. Clever eyes pick out that there are the Sith masks, and perhaps this is from the Old Republic era. And there is a central pedestal which holds a holocron. It spins as if gravity is not a concern for it. Glows red, the color of the Sith, the color of their lightsabers, the color of their malevolent force. Lorne, you know that holocrons can contain untold amount of information. But you feel that there is a dark power inside this holocron as well. Phoenix, what is it that you notice about Vortex that tells you that something about this place is playing tricks with his mind? Perhaps the control of Order 66 is whispering in his ear.
I think Vortex, initially looks like he goes on high alert and starts, clearing the room, but about halfway through, like, gets around the corner or around the edge, then like stops and drops to a knee and puts his hand up to his head, and it's the side with the flesh. I think he's cybernetic, right? So I think he's, grabbing, where he actually has the, you know, human face kind of stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. It's like the machine part of him wants to do what its body's begging it not to. That is great. Dodd, when you look among the murals, do you recognize among these triumphs of the Sith and masters of the ancient orders, you see that there are a pair of Rhodians there. What seems most familiar about them to you?
Are they? I guess I'm wondering about the garb. How much can I see? Enough, obviously, to see Rhodian. So, like, are their heads uncovered?
Yeah, I think their heads are uncovered. They stand as Sith heroes triumphantly.
What are they dressed like?
Tell me, are they dressed in armor? Are they dressed in finery? Are they dressed at all?
Whoa. That's a whole different path than I was thinking of going down.
All the above. That's where no.
So a bit of carte blanche on that.
Yeah.
You don't have anything you're leaning towards. Okay. I think so there are they ears? Are they antenna? I feel like they're ears up top.
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like they have ears, yeah, and they also have antennae. Like both. Why not both? I'm looking at a picture of them and I see ears and antennae.
So I feel like there is a lot that you I mean, if you're a Rhodian, there's a lot you can tell from the angle, length, styling. Like you can read a lot about who they are from that. But you know what? Let's get to that. Let's get to that. Let's not jump there. These two look like they are a couple. their garb puts them in power and of something or other. It's not clear, but it's indication of their sway over other Rhodians and their influence. And they are handing over an object that I don't recognize to someone who is hooded and whose features are shadowed in the cowl, but is clearly a member of the Sith. Is receiving this from the two Rhodians, and I can tell from the cant of their head appendages that the female one is related to my cousin's line, Mato, that we had seen previously, and therefore at least distantly also related to me.
Think you hear whispers in Rhodian emanating from the holocron, beckoning you closer. What do you do?
I like whispers.
I mean, here for secrets, so
Yeah,
seems legit.
I mean, I found this place. This is mine. This is by all rights mine.
Mhm.
We'll go take it and learn the secrets.
Awesome. That is exactly what you do.
I will say, from an outside perspective, it looks like I am floating forward, led by my hand that wants to grab it, in a very ethereal sort of manner.
Nice. Nice. I love it. Phoenix, you've noticed what's happening with Vortex. Lauren, you see Dodd walking, floating to the holocron to seize it. She picks it up in her hand. It starts to cycle and shift around, thinking not unlike like Hellraiser Cube type stuff where things seem to be unlocking. And also, Lauren, you hear the sound of a lightsaber in the distance slashing. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Something crashes. Lord, what do you wish to do?
I am going to pull that holocron away from Dodd. And I'm not sure if this fits exactly, but I think it's fun. I want to use the deflection telekinesis move when you telekinetically move yourself or someone else out of danger. Otherwise, it's just the move object one. I don't know if that.
I'm cool with the deflect out of danger. I just want to check in with you, Keith. Is that okay? Does that rob you of too much, or?
Oh no, I was hoping someone would stop me from
Okay,
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't do it otherwise.
when you telekinetically move yourself or someone else out of danger, spend one reserve and roll plus wisdom. And you have exactly one reserve. Or you
No,
could.
I've already spent it.
Sorry. So you're spending your reserve. Amazing.
Yeah.
Roll plus wisdom. And let's see how this goes.
I'm saving the taking damage for nature because I am sure we will get. So +2 for wisdom. That's a 10,
Oh my, that's pretty good.
which
That's
means I get the reserve back.
You
because
do
that
get the
was
reserve back, so it is unspent. Any success, you extract the person from danger. What does that look like? Is that you pull Dodd away from the holocron? You pull the holocron away from Dodd? What does that look like?
I think it's both. I think it's like pushing Dodd back a little bit, like the floating, like stopping just before she can fully grasp it, and then pulling the holocron away, I guess, towards me, because obviously I can safely handle it. I'm a very wise and
This is
powerful
great.
Jedi.
Amazing. As this is happening, Phoenix Vortex has pulled his sniper rifle up and he mumbles, Good soldiers follow orders. And he's taking aim at Lauren as the holocron is coming into Lauren's hand. What do you do, Phoenix?
Yeah, I tackle him.
Nice. Fight! Fight, fight, fight. When you attack an opponent with a close combat weapon, that would be you. Roll plus stir.
Yeah. That is also a 10.
Wow. Gangbuster. We have a running joke at my home group. One of the players consistently rolls snake eyes or fours, and she will proclaim, "It's another 14." And we all know, yeah, you biffed it. You're in trouble. It's great. And so much so that her husband, who's also in the group, bought her a necklace with 14 on it. It's hilarious. Yep. It came true twice from the reveal, like 2 times in a row. Not 14s. A 10, though, is exactly what you've rolled, which is splendid. Complete success. Deal your damage to the opponent. But you can also roll a d6 to the damage if you expose yourself to their attack. He's not going down quietly. He intends to heal Lauren, and anyone that gets in his way, he will disable or move around.
Yeah. Let me look at something real quick.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say this happened. Since we were along with Vortex, since Vortex joined the crew, and I have a deep-seated sense of regret about the Order 66. I don't know how he's handling or dealing with stuff. So I think I've been carrying around a pair of cuffs. So instead of doing damage, I think I knock his gun out of his hands and I get one cuff around him.
Nice. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're doing your damage to have him partially cuffed. It's definitely
Yeah.
going to make him using a rifle against Lauren impossible. And I really have to know, and clear your throat, of course, but what is it that is this some kind of special treat that you have there? Is it just like, it's not pizza? What is it that you're eating? I'm so nosy, really.
Yes, it's I think it translates as crisp bread.
Okay, cool. It looks awesome, like a big, what are those wafers? Keith, help me out. Like in the South, this weird like wafers that you could buy in packages, and there's like 6 of them. No? Nilla
Sugar
wafer?
wafers?
What wafers?
Sugar wafers? What am I
Maybe
talking about?
that's it. Yeah, that sounds like maybe it. Yeah, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, this is not that. This is
Oh,
like
so yeah, it sounds
a really rough rye bread. That's hard, and I just have a little bit of butter on it.
nice. Tasty. Let's Dot, you've been shoved away from your destiny, from your lineage, from your birthright by Lorne. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you that great power was promised to you by the holocron. You almost had it in your hand. What Lorne has pales in comparison to what you could have with that holocron.
So I was kind of headed towards it, and it was starting to open up.
Yes, it's starting to
And it
open
was
up and
like-
cycle, and it's a glow.
Just as it was settling in my hand, Lauren held me in place and pulled it towards him.
Yes.
So I think, I don't know, I'm kind of taking that as the move was pull someone out of danger, right? So like, I want to keep respecting that, and I am out of danger. I think I'm sort of stuck in that position, but like my eyes are following you, and pleading with you, and I'm I don't know, how stuck do you think I am? Am I frozen in place?
I don't think you're frozen, but I think I'm kind of holding you off, like pushing. So if you probably can move forward, but it's like a heavy headwind or something,
Okay.
or like you're walking walking up a steep incline.
Um,
That's cool. I like that description.
so I've pulled myself out of that position, and I am trying to move towards you and leading into it like that, repeatedly whispering various semi-ominous things about, like, you don't know what you have. That's mine. That's mine. Give it to me, for me, for the family.
Ooh, that's wicked. I love it. I love it. Uh, Lauren, you hear that, and I'm curious, what's your reaction? What are you doing in this moment? The holocron is yours if you choose to take it.
I think I don't touch it, but I like pull out a small pouch or something and put it in there, because it's obviously powerful and important, but it's also obviously dangerous. And I'm hoping that hiding it, not touching it, will at least make it less dangerous right in this moment. And I'm also noticing like there's violence going on here. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to try to this is where I would have liked to have the telepathy package instead of telekinesis. But I think just shouting, not shouting, but raising my voice and being like very stern, get a hold of yourselves. There is danger coming.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I'm
I
not
like that.
sure what if that triggers a move, and if that case,
I'd
what?
like to find a move there. It sounds like there is one we're engaging. Um, let's have you defy danger with charisma.
That
But
sounds perfectly fair.
cool.
Charisma is 1, and I'm due for a really bad roll here. So let's see. Oh, 7. 7 is fine, I
Ooh.
think.
It is a partial success. I'll offer you a stalemate. I do not like the idea of offering someone a stalemate. Like, just seems like a why did you roll the move? Place you in a different danger, damage, or the loss of a resource. Here's what I offer you. You can either reach one or the other, or exerting your will and pressure takes a moment or two to help both of them overcome. Like Phoenix isn't overcome by anything, but perhaps Vortex could be held sway. Dodd is. So you can overcome both of them, but the amount of time that it takes, the person whose lightsaber you heard earlier will come upon you. So choose one or the other. Either you can kind of isolate one of the two of them from the holocron, isolate both, but then someone arrives.
I will isolate both and have the person arrive. That sounds fun.
Cool. So, Dodd, the whispers diminish. You hear Lauren's voice, very gone. Like I'm getting some super Gandalf vibes from Lauren, and I love this. But his voice echoes in your mind for you to be completely sane, which of course you always were. But now that thing has less of a call upon you. Vortex stops fighting you. Phoenix, uh, and of course he has a cybernetic eye. But out of the other, you see that he's started to weep. The shame of Order 66 stirring within him again. He is overcome by it, and it is something that later he will probably deny. What do you do?
Um, I think what I do is I'm gonna, there's not anything I can do right away, and we can't really trust him. So I think I'm going to uh administer something to knock him out
You
and
do
then pick
so.
him up in a fireman carry.
Okay, no roll needed. That you can totally do that thing. After you look quick trank, then you hear the sound of a lit lightsaber humming. The meditation chamber is lit by this very bright red glow, and this individual enters. They are average size, about Dodd's size. They have a red lightsaber, woman's body, trim, athletic. Well, thank you for doing my work for me. I'll take that. And you feel a tug, Lauren, as this Sith Inquisitor is trying to pull the holocron to her. What do you do?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um,
I'm going to say, don't let her have it.
yeah.
I'd
Okay,
like to
okay.
count. I'd like to counter. I mean, if we're just offering suggestions, I'd like to counter with, you don't need it. What are you going to do with it? It seems selfish.
To be fair, it has caused us nothing but trouble.
True.
That is true. That is true.
She might flip some credit your way. You never know.
Um, I think, uh, what do I say? Something like, you are not ready for this power. And think just igniting his lightsaber and like being prepared to defend this. But I think he sends a look to Phoenix because he's the one he most trusts in this moment. That says like, find us a way out. That sort of thing.
I straight up faint.
Nice.
Down I go. I have my hand reaching for my blaster to shoot at Lorne. Now there's two lightsabers lit up. And I will tell you, faint has a double meaning. FEINT, because I'm pretending to go down here.
I
The
think
Inquisitor
Phoenix
buys it.
Yeah. I think Phoenix basically turns around and is like, sees Lauren shoot him a glance, sees sees Dodd go down, kind of shakes his head a little bit, and did the Inquisitor come through the same direction that we did, or a different direction? Okay.
Same direction.
Okay.
She just followed your wake.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I should probably roll since I am misleading the Inquisitor for my own benefit.
You're so should. Yeah.
That'll come into play later on down the line.
For sure.
It is a 9. So I think,
delightful.
although if someone helps, then will be a 10.
Only someone would help.
Although, do we need to do that beforehand or after in this?
We've done it help after, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. I was just going to try to convince you to help more. So if you're going to do it anyway, I don't need to.
Yeah, I think Lorne is like takes a step back and looks distressed as Dodd falls down.
Nice.
And I
Selling
think
it.
Phoenix steps around, not flanking. I don't think I could get behind the Inquisitor, but it's kind of sideways, from where the Inquisitor is standing, so that I can have a better view of what's going on. And I think as I step around to the side, I heave Vector to the ground. I'd picked him up kind of in a fireman's carry. I kind of give a grunt and toss him to the ground, which makes a noise to see if I can, if the Inquisitor is distracted or glances my way or anything like that, to give Lorne an opening.
Cool. Okay, so it sounds like Lauren, you had a relationship with Dodd, and there's no role for aid. You just give a +1, or it does say forward, which means you'd had to have done it beforehand, but I'm fine with that. I've made the ruling, so I'm going to stand by it. But that would push you to a 10, which means you have 3 reserve that you can use with feint. And boy, I again wish I could add like 2 or 3 more options with feint. It's like, yeah, it's almost, yeah, but it's okay.
I think some of them might require a little bit of contortions for it to work what I throw them out. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll negotiate it together. It's all good. Okay. The Inquisitor is coming towards you, Lauren, after you ignoring Dodd, fully buying into the feint, maybe chuckling darkly to herself, echoing mechanically through her mask as she realizes that one of the 3 of you is feeble.
So she's just like advancing, not lunging or
No, she's very controlled. She's doing the Darth Vader cadence of walk.
yeah.
You know what? I may
mhm.
actually spend a reserve while she's doing that because it seems like a great time for her to monologue and reveal a secret.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
delightful. She says, "Long have I waited for this to call to the right person. It seems a wayward exile is the key to unlock this door. I would delight in taking this holocron. Its power will help me to ascend. Join me. We will take down Zinj together and free the galaxy from his tyranny."
And substitute yours? I think not.
Hmm. Very well. Well, she gives you a little fencer's salute, falls
Yeah.
back into a stance.
Mhm. I think as soon as she makes that salute, that's when I attack. Because I have
Yes!
no compunctions about
That's awesome.
doing
I
that.
love it. That's so great. Fight. You
I
attack in a
see
code.
that.
Yes.
I see that move. I'm going to aid Lorne. This is what I've trained for. So I think she gets a side shot kind of thing. Yeah.
Is this are you calling this your Lorne a special relationship? It seems
Yes.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, you
We
did. You already colored it.
set that
Yeah.
up.
So
Yep.
that's a
Mhm.
+2 forward.
So I'm rolling with a +4. Or is there a limit to how much?
I
Plus
think
you
the
can?
limit is 4. So I think
Oh,
go for it.
I will go for it. That's a 10.
Thank goodness
I
for that
need
+4, because that was
every
not a
one of
great
those
roll.
plus.
Complete success. Deal your damage to the opponent. You may choose to add +1d6 to the damage if you expose yourself to their attack. Hey, that'll probably kill the Inquisitor if you add the d6. I'm just saying.
I'm going to go for that because it seems more fun, and I think Lorne's thinking here is that we need to finish her off quickly before she can do anything tricksy. Of course, I do a terrible roll, so that's 5 on a d6 plus a d8.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it all. That is a thing. I think you guys do a pass. You see a little bit of like a cauterized wound in her arm. It's cut. It's bad. It's a bad cut. But then we reveal that she also damaged you. And please roll a d8. She's
That's not
tough.
so bad. How
She's not
bad
so
could
bad.
that
It's
be? That's a 1. That's
fine.
no. That's
What a
no
joke.
damage.
And you are fine, we see.
Yeah. I think we see like her lightsaber pass through, and then I step aside, and she's just cut my ropes.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
dark side has led you. The dark side has led you down a false path.
Steps into another stance. I think there's a little bit of a moment where she's probing. She kind of pops the lightsaber ahead, kind of pokes at you a couple times, and forces you to defend yourself. And then she comes in with a very quick strike. She's a little quiet now. She's more focused. She didn't harm you at all. Her monologuing seems to be done. Dodd, you could totally just leave this place right now. You see
I'm
the exit.
unconscious on the floor. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, it's true. Okay. Sorry. You're unconscious. Phoenix, you were able to help Lauren. You see the two of them are in a pitted battle. It's magnificent. They are artful, like dancers. What do you do, Phoenix?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have ever seen anything like that. I've seen, Jedi fighting other people, but I probably haven't seen many Jedi fighting each other. I
Mhm.
mean, that'd be a pretty rare sight. I think I'm just so like I said, I'm providing covering fire for Lorne. I can roll the fire move and see what can happen.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I
let's see what
think
that looks like.
I should be able to help you, I think, by like keeping her distracted and focused on me.
Okay.
And Rich, just to give you a heads up, I am looking to spend a hold for someone in danger swaps places with your target when things are looking bad for Lorne. And my target having been the Inquisitor, so I'm not sure what that will end up looking like. So we'll both be on the lookout for when that would actually make sense.
I think this sits in trouble, personally. We got 3 PCs. This Sith may have chosen poorly. We'll see how it goes.
Ooh, I rolled Snake Eyes, so that's a 5.
Delightful. And you were helping. Do you have a special relationship, Lauren, with Phoenix?
I don't think so. I have a relationship, but not a special relationship. But either way, I share in the
Oh,
attack.
and I already factored in 1 help from Lorne with that
Sweet.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what happens is that she deflects the blaster bolt. That seems appropriate. I think you fire multiple times. She just deflects and pop hits Lauren and Phoenix. Please roll your damage twice. And
I have an idea.
Oh, ooh.
I will spend a hold to swap the places. One of the blaster bolts that was going to hit eeny, meeny, miny, moe, but let's say Phoenix, because it was his fault. Instead, ricochets off the ceiling, so part of the ceiling falls on Inquisitor.
That's amazing. I love it. So please roll your damage twice. And
Okay, so this first damage, tell me who the target is.
we're gonna say it's Lauren.
Okay. So that's a 3.
Oh, yeah. And then the second one is
Second
the
one.
blaster bolt hitting a stalagmite. I have to
That
do
is
the
Hang
also a
tight to the
3.
ceiling.
Oh, I'd never heard that one. Another 3? Man.
Yep. There's two rolls of 3 there. Yep.
Yeah, it comes down. She dodges out of the way, but it's obvious that it sliced across her leg, and that sucks. Wow, you have so much armor. It's bananas. Those robes, 1 armor robes. That's great. Yes, I said, yeah. Is it a physical attack getting hit by a blaster bolt? Yeah.
In canon, they show that people can kind of dodge blaster bolts and that kind of stuff. And the story is that the superheated gas or whatever it is slower than light, right? So you can actually dodge it. It's just not, yeah.
I was thinking it would count as physical because it's the closest equivalent to like
Yeah.
a bow and arrow or something. Just going back by the Underworld thought.
All right. Sounds good. So yeah, she barely dodges out of the way before the thing would have impaled her. And I think you get the sense, Lord, she might be looking for an exit at this point. What do you do?
Well, we're kind of looking for an exit too, but she is at least a potentially dangerous force user. I think I'm going to try to finish her off.
Okay. So there's a moment where her helmet moves around a little bit. Maybe you've seen part of the helmet was broken, so you could see the lower half of her jaw.
Or
It
actually,
is.
let's make it a bit more interesting, because this was what was the any other like decorations in this room? Like
Oh, yes.
basically what I'm looking for is something I could cut that would fall on top of her, and like, oh, now she's definitely dead and we can get out of here. That sort
Oh,
of
that's super cool.
Is there a pit we could push her into? Always
thing.
does.
Ooh. No one ever comes back from that.
Oh, there has to be now. There wasn't, but now one's revealed. Like, yeah, that's
Ooh, like
just
the room is also reconfiguring, kind of mirroring the holocron.
yeah, I love it. The room reconfigured while you guys were there. That's delightful. That's awesome.
Cool. Then I will try to. I will. I'll use my force powers to just throw her into a pit in the floor. Use my telekinesis.
Sweet. Let's hit that roll. Let's do it.
And I'm going to spend 2 reserve because I assume she counts as a large object.
I can actually help as well, I feel like. Because
Yeah.
I'm down on the ground. I'm gonna sweep her legs out as I see you
Oh,
starting
sweep the
to
leg. Oh my God. It's great.
That's right, Johnny.
Perfect. Yeah, you get her off balance, and I just do the final push.
That's awesome.
Or the other way around. I push her and she's like teetering on the edge, and that's when you wake up and knock
Okay.
her down.
Makes
That's
sense.
cool. And I get a 10. I get reserve back, and I do push her.
Oh man. And she does. She falls and disappears. We see like the bit of her chin that was exposed from the helmet being broken. It's like this gray, pallid skin that she has. And she falls, and we see the lightsaber fall as well and disappear. She's gone forever, obviously. Um, Phoenix, you just saw a pretty titanic battle. It was pretty amazing. You also saw Dodd pull off a tricky trick. She wasn't passed out after all. It seems so real. What do you do?
So, I think so. Number one, me firing on the Inquisitor was a really bad idea. I should have known better. Um, so I'm going to follow the general's orders, and I'm going to start looking for a way out. Um, and so I'm this room is reconfiguring itself, so it's different from when we first came in. So I'm looking for an exit. Do you think that might be the labyrinth move?
I think it is.
Yeah. Let me roll the labyrinth move. Oh, and I'm looking for a way out. I'm not sure. Maybe that's int?
Yeah, that feels smart to me. It's a smart move.
Could be also be wisdom if I was using past experience. I don't think I am. That is a 5.
Okay. On a miss, you encounter a guardian. And what we'll do, I'll just tweak it. So on a spin 3 hole at any time to find the exit, from the labyrinth. It's got to be this, right? You guys are trying to pick your way back through. You head through a different route, so you end up not passing through the room filled with statues, but instead a hidden vault containing dozens more Sith holocrons, as well as artifacts, tomes. This is some kind of archive chamber. It is chilled here. The rest of the place was cool, but not cold. But here it is absolute zero. And as you're looking at all of, like, okay, well, there's like dozens of other holograms. It's obvious they don't emanate the same power from the one that is in your pouch. And there's a door at the end. You guys are headed towards it. It opens, and there are stormtroopers who come in immediately firing at you guys because somebody had backup. So what do you wish to do? I think I'm just gonna have roll 3d6, and that's the damage you get from them firing on you guys. We're gonna go left to right, same as the character keeper. So 3, sorry, Rich has to pull up the keeper. You forgot 3 to Dodd, a mere 1 to Lorne, and 3 to Phoenix. Should these be stormtroopers, boys in white, or should these be the death troopers in their shiny black armor?
I mean, you're going spooky.
I mean, we're going spooky, so I think these are the aforementioned death troopers. One of them has the like sawed off shotgun blaster, which always looks so dope and makes no sense, but I don't care. Yeah, so the Star Wars death troopers, a small group of them. Aren't they called death troopers, or am I misremembering? Dark troopers?
I think there are both Death Troopers and Dark Troopers, but I'm not sure.
I'm talking about the guys that hung out with Krennic in
Those are Death Troopers.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
I
thank you.
think that the Dark Troopers are there's some sort of force thing, I think. Wasn't that what?
They're droids. They're like what?
Oh, yeah,
In
yeah. What
Mandalorian.
Luke
Yeah.
fought in the Mandalorian. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Sorry, Dark Death. It's fine. These are death troopers. And they speak in that code that doesn't sound like any like yeah. These guys are kind of scary. Sweet. Yeah, so they come in firing and hit you guys. So obviously they're not the boys in white, they actually hit you. That's how I justify it.
Well, they don't hit me, or at least no. That's
Yeah, with your force armor, yeah, it's no big deal. God, what do you wish to do? There are death troopers between you and getting out of here.
So, priority number 1, escape. Priority number 2, don't give up the 1 holocron that we have. Priority number 3, if we could destroy all of these, that would be fantastic. I don't have anything that's going to do that, though. I don't know if... Hello, yes. I bet these guys do, though. Maybe they have explosives. I bet a thief could steal some explosives from them. Let's be all thievy-like. I have a thief move for when I quickly take something, an object you could palm from a target, name your intended prize, and roll plus dex. I want to get a big explosive thing. Well, palm-sized explosive thing.
A thermal detonator or something like that. Yep.
So let's see.
You also have your metamorph disguise system, so you could like look like a trooper yourself.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I will do that.
Awesome.
Just another death trooper here, folks. We went death, right? Not dark. Yeah, death.
You are death. It's not Darth. It's not dark. It is Death
Um,
Trooper.
So do you think you look like a Death Trooper, or do you look like the Inquisitor?
Yeah. Oh, that could be even more fun, right? That could be even more fun. Uh, yeah. I will do that. So, and it says take +1 to impersonate someone. I don't know if that's a
You
+1
just
forward.
impersonate them. I don't want to have
Okay.
back-to-back moves. Let's just say you look like a Death Trooper, do your thief thing. I don't like the idea of like those two in this situation. Person.
So yeah, there they are. Take them out. I have the holocron. And I'll make like I'm moving past them to go by and hopefully snatch the thermal detonator on the way. So that adds a +1 to this. And my dex is 1. So let's see what happens. It's an 8, so thank goodness for the pluses. That is the target or someone else knows you took it.
Ooh, nice. Nice. I like it. Yeah. One of the Death Troopers turns. You're not sure what they're saying, but they obviously cried some kind of alarm. But you have ho 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 ho. Now you have a machine gun too, except the machine gun is a thermal detonator. Phoenix.
A whole nest of references.
I'm doing all of them. It's just like, how can I work in a Home Alone reference? That's really that and an Elf reference, and I think we can just fill this bingo board is what I'm after. It's because it's Christmas time, friends. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Phoenix. You see that suddenly it turns out that Inquisitor's around or something, and maybe not.
But
What do you do?
so the Inquisitor came from us. I think it's fairly obvious. I saw I saw her step out, and I'm like, oh. And then I heard the orders. I don't know that I know what's going to happen though. Oh, I know what it was. I think I do understand what the Death Troopers, garbled.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah.
I think I, have a translator or something that interprets what that is. And so I grab Lorne by the edge. I have Vortex over my shoulder. I grab Lorne and yank him back out of the room because I know something's going on with Dodd. That he just grabbed a thermal detonator.
For sure. And you heard one of the Death Troopers say, she got.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what, the Inquisitor Dodd was doing. But yeah,
Sounds good.
was it
Sounds very
Dodd?
good. Love it. So what are you doing? Getting out of Dodge?
Yeah, I think we're stepping back out of the room for cover. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds smart. And then Lauren, what about you?
Yeah. So Phoenix is dragging both me and I forget the name of the other
Vortex.
trooper.
I have
Vortex.
Vortex over my shoulder, so I stepped back out, but I think I grabbed you by the arm and stepped back, but it's just kind of a pull, not a carry.
Yeah. Cool.
You
cool.
can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure what was going on. Yeah. Yeah, I trust Phoenix to know what's going on here. I'll go with him and yeah, I think I'm because I don't think I caught what Dodd was doing. But I trust Dodd to be able to keep herself safe because she's pretty good at that. So at least for the moment, yeah, trusting Phoenix to guide to lead me to in the right direction.
Cool. So it sounds like everybody's trying to vacate. It sounds like you guys need to defy danger to keep from getting shot some more. That's their plan.
Okay.
They want to shoot you some more.
So what are we rolling with?
It's a defy danger, so you define how you're doing it, and sounds like a dex thing, unless you were thinking of another stat you're engaging.
I think, yeah, let's go with Dex. I think I'm like deflecting blaster bolts, but at this point that feels
Awesome.
like Dex. So
So I think I'm going to roll my own, but I'm going to assist Lorne, which would
no,
give a
don't.
+2. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. I
Sorry,
rolled
that's
snake
what I
eyes.
described in the fiction. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I
I got
rolled snake eyes. So
okay.
you're safe. I am not.
I think by aiding I share
Yeah, you
in their
share in the
fate. Yeah.
badness. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm fine with that. But my roll was an 11. So, yeah.
man.
So I don't. There's a couple dangers they could be defying. The Death Trooper shooting, and the fact that this whole room's about to be a firestorm that they also might not have gotten out of the way of.
Mm-hmm. I think it's it's 2d8 coming to the both of them. And it's the same way as before, so that would be 4 to sorry, we're just forgetting the order. Yeah, 4 to Lauren and a mere 2 to Phoenix. As this is more. Dodd, I think you just do the thing, right? You throw the grenade. It is 4d6.
Can I roll that?
You certainly can. I recommend it.
I didn't know if. I mean, I know so it's a PBTA, but didn't know if you wanted to roll.
Nah, you do it, baby. Go for it.
13.
Nice. That is gonna knock the crap out of them, but even worse, causes the room to fall down upon them, therefore making things even worse and also destroying a host of the holocrons and items and artifacts and objets d'art as you guys make it just out of that. And I think you need to navigate the labyrinth again. It was Lorne. No, it was Dodd. You kind of hosed it last time, right?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't 1 to 3, but I guess we didn't have any hold anyway. So
That's true. Then who would like to navigate next? Would that be Lorne or Phoenix trying to get you guys out of there?
Phoenix navigated us into this, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'll do it now. And I'm not sure that I'm trusting my senses right now.
Fair. I mean, you just have empirical evidence that your senses aren't helping out right now lately.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to like recall what I know of the Sith because this I'd come to the conclusion that this is a Sith place, and how they would like structure a building, how would they like hide secret exits or that sort of thing.
Nice. I like it.
I'm not sure if is that in or is it something else.
Is it int or wisdom? I could see either of those.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't have the description. Let's go with in. I think this is more reasoning than something else. That's a 10.
A
So
10.
that's
Delightful. That is an altogether good thing. You do not encounter a guardian, and you generate 1 hold, a mere 1. Oh. So you help them to.
I think it's like someone is moving towards an obvious exit, and I say, "No, don't go there." And we walk in like behind a pillar, and there's the actual door we should go.
Nice. So you open the door and you head into a room filled with various dust-covered ancient, for lack of any other better term, appear to be alchemical apparati, a laboratory of some kind. You see that in ancient, fetid bacta tanks are half-formed creatures, horrific and rotted and long, long gone. But you feel like perhaps you're moving upwards as you do so here. Looking at time, let us get another navigate roll. Who wants to push forward and how?
So I think I rolled the first one. Lord rolled this one, so I think it's Dodd's turn.
Dot again.
All right, so what makes sense for me to go through this? A little bit of panic. Things are not going great. I don't know. I think it is just gutting it out, which would probably be Constitution, which is not one I should be arguing for because I don't have any bonuses there. But there it is.
There it is. I appreciate your tenacity.
And it's a 7.
Ooh, on a 7 to 9, you hold one, but you also encounter a guardian. You're pushing your way out of the labyrinth. I'm sorry, out of the laboratory, one too many labs, and you see that there is a narrow, another narrow corridor. You again experience the whispers of the rituals and forgotten incantations, which, if you recall, was very near the entrance. Perhaps a sense of hope is filling, but then you see something within the corridor. One of the walls starts to move, and a, a dark, smoky figure carrying a crystalline sword moves forward towards you, Dodd. You can see almost through them. They're cloaked, and you can feel the chill of the unliving emanating from them as they try to stab you in your eye. What do you do?
I avoid getting stabbed in the eye.
I think you're going to fight them then,
I
or
mean, I
just
don't.
get the hell out of Dodge.
I mean, I think that's where we're at, right? Like, I'm gonna avoid this attack and try to.
Roll plus dex to quickly avoid it. You're defying danger.
I don't. I don't want any part of this. I've got a little bit of dex.
You
Just a
do.
little bit though, because that's a 6.
Oh my. Is anyone going to help? Otherwise, I'm doing damage.
I think I can help. I think I will step in and take the that would just be an aid. Okay. So I think that I'll help, and I think what that looks like is, we've been flanking, we've been running. I'm lagging a little bit behind because I'm carrying Vortex.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry. Instead of aid, how about this? Sorry. Do you want to defend? Because
oh,
Dodd's about to get stabbed.
yeah. Let me do defend then. Oh, that
Cool.
might be
Hey,
worse
just so
though.
we know what's coming, Keith, why don't you roll me a d10?
Oh boy.
Oh, man. 10. Good stuff. Hey, Andesh, this is how it rolls. This is how you do high damage. Sweet. So you're defending roll plus con.
Okay. So my con is a -1.
Oh, my goodness.
So that is a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is less than good.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
yeah, I think what happens here, things you move to like slide in, and I think like you're just too old, you're too slow. And I think you take a D6 damage, like you twist your knee or something. And Dodge, you take 10 points of damage. Apply armor.
Thank goodness. I am down to 1.
Yeah, I think this thing, it like slices right through here and comes all the way out. And Lauren, when the crystalline sword comes to the other side, you do not see any blood. You just see this like black ichor drip down Dodd's back. And then the thing savagely like rips it out of you. And I'm curious, Lauren, what do you want to do?
Ichor. Yeah. I think I'll just. So what I want to do is hold this thing off long enough for Dodd and Phoenix and Vortex to be able to get out of there.
Well, let me telegraph what I would do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is I'm a combat medic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would try to go protect Dodd and heal him up.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
yeah.
what I
Cool.
would do. So yeah.
You're gonna heal Dodd. Dodd is down. Yeah. So I think I'm trying to hold it off, but I think I'm just going to attack. Um, Attack is the best defense, whatever how that goes.
That's exactly how it goes. No questions, no notes.
I will attack. That is a fantastic 5 on my 5.
Amazing. So that's not successful. And
Really?
I think what happens is though that it changes targets to you, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
You come in and the it blocks your lightsaber with the crystalline sword. It has a physical form. It's the same thing that physical form that was used to Dodd. Maybe you come in with a different move and it passes harmlessly through its body, and it stabs, it like twists the sword around and stabs you in the chest. Please roll a d10. I think you're due for a high roll, so let's see how that
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, I am. 6, middling. So I take 4. Still okay.
Your okay and my okay are different okays, but you're better off than Dodd. I love the little bit where if you're a certain threshold of hit points, it colors the little box a scary color. It's awesome. So Phoenix, you tried to help Lauren. Dodd, you got stabbed. Lauren got stabbed. There's a lot of stabbing. This thing, yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen next. If it gets a chance to do a thing, it is moving towards Vortex's body. Yep, that's exactly what it's doing. So I think Phoenix, your intent was try to heal somebody.
Yeah. It was I saw Dodd go down. So I'm gonna jump over and do combat medic. See
Okay.
how I can do this. 6, 1. Combat medic. Wisdom, so I got a +1. Let's see how that looks. That is a 9. Which means I need to expend a use of medic gear. Great. Which gives you a +4. So Dodd, roll your D8. D8 +5.
Oh,
Oh, so I add to the D8 as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
That's
good
good.
news.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. What a
that
hero.
is, you are awesome. You are so good at this, Phoenix. This
I feel fine.
the spirit, the form, whatever it is, it like dives into Vortex's body, and there's a moment as Vortex starts to move, as if waking up from a long slumber. Lauren, what do you wish to do? This is bad.
Yeah. I don't have any like will affecting force moves,
Mm-hmm.
but could I still try to like I move over to him, put my hand on his chest and try to force this spirit out?
I think if you want to defy danger, that could work.
Cool.
Yeah. Feels like within the descriptors to resist mental influence or distractions in a way. So
Sure.
let's do wisdom.
Cool. The stick. That is not enough.
That is
Um,
not enough.
could I aid?
Um, tell me how.
I think so. As soon as I see Dodd back up, I would go over and I see that Vortex is conscious but shouldn't be, and I see him coming for Lauren, or actually Lauren going for him. But I think I'm going to power down his cybernetics, hit an off switch, um, intentionally to hamper him in what I think is Order 66 going for Lauren.
Ooh, that's super interesting. Yeah, I think that works. It gives you a chance, Lauren. You can hold this creature at bay from using Vortex like a puppet. But looking at time, I think you should tell us what is the price that you pay to keep it from being able to inhabit Vortex? Does Vortex? Do you guys escape with this thing riding in Vortex? Does it go to the holocron? Do you lose the holocron? Does it infect you? What do you think is the cost that's paid as we start to
I
move
think
towards epilogues?
yeah, I'm not able to force it out, but I managed to cut it off from vortexes. It can control vortex, but it's still in there. So we can't turn like as long as his cybernetics are turned off, he will not. It won't be able to take control. But yeah, I think this is the stalemate. Like I have to continue to hold it down at least for a while until we can get out of it.
Oh, that sounds awesome. It's like the setup for another adventure. That's so cool. Let's move quickly to epilogues as you guys are able to get out of the labyrinth because you dying in a labyrinth is a trophy game, and that's not what we're playing. So, who'd like to go first with like, a few sentences about their character's epilogue from this story?
Well, I am most curious about what we end up doing with the holocron, and I think that might be Lauren's call once we get out.
Okay, well, let's let Lauren go first, and you can follow after. Does that seem okay?
Sure. I think we see Lorne like sitting and meditating over the holocron, like obviously being very cautious and careful with how not touching it, but it's floating in the air in front of
Mm-hmm.
him, and he's like visualized in some interesting way, like pulling knowledge from it, like hearing the whispers and we see like symbols moving. And I think we have Vortex like in the background, still paralyzed. And as Lorne is trying to find some knowledge in this, and oh, I think we see this spirit kind of like struggling to get out of Vortex, but being trapped inside him, as Lorne is trying to find some way to resolve.
Oh, what was that Denzel Washington movie?
Where he whistles.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. What about Phoenix?
So Phoenix, um, learns a little bit about like what happened with Vortex and what the Sith holocron is and what the Inquisitor is, and realizes that there's another mission here. That the leaders of the Republic, the old generals, need help in defeating this new enemy, and he starts to recruit. I don't think there's too many old clone troopers around, but he starts to recruit others and teaching them to fight and how to he creates sort of like a trooper corps of Sith killers, right? The people who
Oh,
are going to go after the Inquisitors because they're going after the remaining Jedi.
that's awesome. Like a Sith,
Yeah.
a hit squad against Sith. That's crazy. I love that.
Now that's a premise for a game right there.
Heck
I
yes,
don't know
that
which
is.
game you're going to run it in, but my goodness, the
Ooh, that
Inglorious
has to
Bastards of
happen
Sith.
now. That's great. And then Dodd, what about you?
I'm on a couple of different tracks here, so I'm not sure where I want to put that. I guess my question would be, does Lorne prevent Dodd from trying to get secrets out of this thing? Because even not being mind controlled, it's still pretty interesting.
I mean, Lorne can't watch the holocron all the time, so
You know what? I'm between that and what happens with Motto. Um, I don't know what's more interesting to follow up on. I feel like that's more straightforward, so I'll go with that. Because we got Motto and somebody else captured in orbit. So I think it's cutting a little more forward in time than we were with Dodd going to the family on, is the homeworld Rhodia? I don't actually know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And bringing Motto there, like sort of as a ransom, also as like a rubbing it in your face kind of thing, and being like, oh, I'm bringing Motto home because she went down the wrong track and ended up with some pirates, and like somewhat forgetting the fact that Motto said, who do you think got me into this? It was my mom, and like the family's just like not impressed with me doing this. It's just like you've put a road bump in their business. You should know better than this. When are you going to make something of yourself? And it's just the same old story. Like, I'm going back to Gallivant in the Galaxy, see what my friends are up to. Not coming back for Life Day this year, that's for sure.
That's great. That's great. Anybody have any last bits? Awesome. Wonderful. Not going to do the intercession XP stuff because there's no way you want to make another level anyway. So let's quickly end with stars because hopefully we granted all our wishes. Any stars to finish us off? You said
yeah.
it. Yeah, that trooper corps of Sith hunters, like,
Yeah.
so,
Star just for that, but
yes.
also stars to everyone, I think, for just making things difficult for us, like not being afraid to go for the non-optimal solution. A lot of times that's fun. Staying true to the characters while allowing things to get complicated. Big star to Rich for the very spooky labyrinth. Loved all of that and pushing us hard, not letting us get away too easy. Love that. Yeah, I'll stop there.
Cool. Thanks, Ladesh.
Um,
Oh, go ahead, Steven.
I'll go. Specifically, a couple of instances I really liked was I liked the faint, right? That was awesome and very evocative and
That
very
was so funny.
built the character. I thought that was awesome. Gave me a good background of where the character was coming from. And I also really liked where Lorne the idea that like, oh, is there anything I can cut down to shove the Inquisitor into, or I like the idea of that Inquisitor being able to come back, but being defeated and not looking good, just to translate how difficult they were, how powerful they are. Um, I have a star for the system, which is the thing about the Sith trooper, whatever you want to call those guys, came from a drive. I was looking, one of the advancements was like, get a third drive, and it's discover critical intel about an enemy or obstacle you face. I'm like, that's exactly what this is. So I think he's going to spread that knowledge around to form a core. So that idea really came from, the system itself.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you.
I think in general the system is really nice. There's like stuff I would tighten up, looking at it with that eye, but like it's doing what it should be doing. I mean, general stars and everything. It's hard to be specific. Like, great group of characters, great group of players, and I think everyone, Rich included, did a great job playing off of what other folks were doing and being very generous with like spotlight and also setting up actions for other folks. And speaking of which, there are so many delicious narrative threads from the end of this, from the hunting down the Sith and the possessed clone trooper, and like, what is this Jedi gonna do with the holocron, and like so many things that I hope come up again on future Star Wars Saturdays.
Me too. Me too.
I hadn't got it until you said this, Keith, but Vortex being possessed by a Sith ghost has images of, is it Echo, who was used in the
Yeah, it
Clone
was Echo
Wars?
the clone. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those two characters kind of mirror each other. That's pretty good.
Very cool. I really loved these characters. I'm sorry I kept throwing in all the references to Gandalf. I think, and you started me down that path, but man, it was great. It was great. This was really, really fun, exciting. I love some of the slight betrayals. I enjoyed the system. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for a PBTA kind of Star Warsy thing. I like some of the stuff it's doing. Agree. There's some stuff where we could like trim off some of the dungeon world edges to make it a little bit more like exactly what we want. But I had a lot of fun with you guys in this, and I love the things we launched. I could see 4 or 5 other games that are just follow-ups to the crap you guys, the things, not crap, because it was really fun and good. This was awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for playing this, and I appreciate it very, very much. Yes, it's Voodoo. Sorry. With that, we'll bring the recording to a close.